Say hello.
Hello everyone, my name's Ruby.
And my name's Jamie. Welcome to Reading with Ruby.
Hey.
Today we're going to read The Lion Inside.
Well, what's that on his tail?
I don't know.
Bandages.
Bandages. Why do you think there's bandages?
Because let me show you something. Let me show you
Tell me.
something.
Can I tell the people what the story's about? You don't have to be big and brave to find your... Can you roar with me, maybe? Roar! Being little isn't always easy, but when Mouse sets off on a journey to find his... Roar, he discovers that even the smallest creature can have the heart of a lion. So, the heart of a lion, many people say that lions are very courageous. Do you know what courageous means?
Fearless.
Yes.
And smart.
Yeah. That can be very true.
And
Brave.
brave.
Yeah. So let's see if Mouse can be as brave as he wants to be.
Mama,
This is by Rachel Bright and Jim Field.
there's something I want to show you.
Should we wait till we get to it?
No. This is why, Mama. This is why he's got bandages on his tail.
Oh.
But just read this.
Okay, let's see. In a dry, dusty place where the sand sparkled gold stood a mighty flat rock, all craggy and old. And under that rock, in a tiny little house, lived the littlest, quietest, meekest brown mouse. He was so very tiny.
That's why.
Oh, let's see. He was so very tiny, so incredibly small, that nobody noticed him, ever, at all. He got trod on and sat on and missed out for stuff, ignored and forgotten. Yes, mouse life was tough. Oh, look at that. He's getting stomped on by an elephant. Ow! And then sat on by a zebra or a zebra. Ouch! Meanwhile, far above, on top of the rock, times were quite different. It was lion o'clock. This huge, toothsome creature made sure everyone saw how important he was by how loud he could
Roar!
Let me hear your biggest roar. He was head of the pack. He was shouty and tough. He loved showing the crowd he was made of strong stuff. Yes, all were impressed by this mighty king cat. If only thought...
Look at him!
What?
Look at him!
Oh my gosh, what is he doing?
Lifting a hippopotamus.
A hippopotamus. You know, when you were younger, you used to call it a hippopotamus. Oh, what did you call it? Hippopotamus? Yes, all were impressed by this mighty king cat. If only, thought Mouse, I could be more like that. Why does Mouse want to be like Lion?
Because he's small.
Who's small?
The mouse.
Yeah, and Lion's what?
Bigger.
Yeah. He thinks maybe he wouldn't get trampled and he could be more fearless and brave if he were like Lion. Then, late one dark night, in his Minnie Mouse mouse bed. The cleverest thought popped into his head. He jumped up from the covers and held up a paw. "I've got it," he said. "What I need is a..." Yeah. I mean, what if this mouse with the weeniest squeak was a little more grrr and a little less meek? Do you know what meek means?
No.
Just very quiet and shy and very small. Well, he'd still be the smallest of fuzzy brown mice, but he'd make friends and join in, and life would be nice. Yes, thought the mouse, I must find out how. I will learn how to roar, and I will learn it now. But, oh my gosh, there was only one beast who could teach him this thing, but might make him a feast. What is he thinking? He wants to learn from the lion, but he thinks that what?
He's gonna be dinner.
Yeah, he thinks the lion will eat him. It was time to be strong, take a chance. After all, forever was such a long time to feel small. It's very brave of the mouse indeed, isn't it? He realizes there's something that he wants to change about himself, and instead of not doing anything about it, he sets out to change. I think that's pretty brave.
What's that?
That looks like a praying mantis type of bug.
That was massive.
Yeah. So, he made himself brave and he thought like a winner. He set off for the top, hoping not to be dinner. It felt like the scariest thing he could do. But if you want things to change, you first have to change you. That's what I said. The further he climbed, the closer he got to the slumbering lion reclining on top. Then at last, as he stood on his tippity toes, he found himself suddenly nose to nose. Pardon me. Wake up, Mr. Lion. You've got company. Squeak. Mr. Lion, what I've come to you for is, squeak, do you think you could teach me your roar? Ooh, that's a very intimidating scene, isn't it? I would be scared if I was that face to face with a lion. A silence befell that twinkling plain. Lion opened his eyes and puffed out his mane. Time slowed right down. Why, it felt a week. Then he opened his mouth. And let out an eek! Oh my gosh! What does this look like? What's happening here?
He's scared of the mouse.
Scared of the mouse! What an interesting turn of events. Oh my gosh, he looks petrified. The lion was shaking his paws all a fumble. He was backing away with a scrambling tumble. Don't hurt me, he whimpered. Oh, try to be nice. Well, my goodness, this lion was frightened of mice. Don't worry, Mouse peeped. I'm a friend, not a foe. Let's rock this together. We'll have fun, don't you know? That was a magical moment for sure, when Mouse didn't feel at all small anymore. He had found his true voice and learned to speak out, and for that you don't need to roar or to shout. And from that day and always, the two were a pair. They both liked that rock better. Now that rock was to share. The mouse, while still little, felt big in his head. And Lion, he still roared, but with laughter instead. So it looks like they became quite friends. You would think they were a very unlikely pair. They were two very different characters and two very different creatures. They were both afraid of each other, but then they realized all they had to do was meet, and they were very similar enough to become good friends. Yes, that day they both learned that no matter your size, we all have a mouse and a lion inside. So even though a mouse was teeny tiny, he could still be very courageous, couldn't he? Thank you for joining us for this episode of Reading with Ruby, where we read The Lion Inside. Can you give the people a roar? Squeak! We hope you enjoyed it. If you like what you see, subscribe. And come back every Tuesday, Ruby Tuesday, for Reading with Ruby and me.